CJ Flyer back with Fire in another YouTube video. Today showing you what I believe to be the best free third-party college football 27 Dynasty tools. Now I'm not sponsored or affiliated by any of the three websites I'm going to show in this video. However, I believe everyone that's a die-hard Dynasty fan that loves playing this game mode should be made aware of these tools because they are incredible tools and I'm very grateful for the creators of these websites for providing them to us for free. Starting off with the first website, collegefootball.gg. Now this website's already very popular on the college football subreddits, but I thought I'd give a quick breakdown for anyone that's not familiar with them. There's over a dozen free tools here that you can utilize, and the ones that I find the most helpful are the Recruiting Insight Engine, the Pipelines tool, the Player Abilities tool, and the Visit Optimizer. I also occasionally like to refer to collegefootball.gg's playbook database, especially when it comes to me putting together my custom playbook for online Dynasty. Alright, so to give a quick walkthrough of each one of these tools, the Recruiting Insight Engine tool is very nice. It was more nice in the past in College Football 25 and College Football 26. In College Football 27, EA did improve the interface a bit, so it is easier to find those hard sell combinations. This tool isn't entirely necessary to find hard sell combinations, it just helps you save time and also to help document which combinations are still possible if you have more than one remaining that could be a hard sell combination. So basically you just click yes or no on the sidebar there on the right in order to put together all of the possible combinations that are still remaining for what your hard sell could be for a given recruit. You'll also notice that there's percentages appearing above every one of the hard sell combos. And what that's telling you is basically based on the different yeses and nos you've input onto the right side, it's telling you the percent likelihood that the hard sell combo is going to be one or the other based on the recruit data that collegefootball.gg has saved. It's not perfect, and I would imagine that the sample size for this data is quite low since the game did only come out a couple days ago. But nonetheless, at the very least, it does quickly give you the possible combinations for a hard sell that you have remaining for a given recruit. Next is the Pipelines tool. I like to use this one in order to determine what school I might want to choose for a given online or offline Dynasty. From this map interface, you can either select a school from the list of schools in the game to see what their pipelines are and what regions of the country they cover, or alternatively, you could select a pipeline and then scroll down and see the list of schools that have that given pipeline and what region of the country that covers. Beyond that, they also have a list ranking the best pipelines in the game, and then they've also put together a composite score for every one of the schools within the game as far as being able to determine which ones have the best pipelines. And of course, they also have this quick comparison tool here to be able to compare between two different pipelines. I guess the main benefit of this could be if you wanted to choose schools based on certain positions you want to go after, or because you want to prioritize going after recruits in a specific position group from a specific pipeline because the recruits from that pipeline tend to have better quality talent than other pipelines. Okay, the next tool is the Player Abilities tool, and that one is basically just a large dictionary of all of the different player abilities within the game, both the physical abilities and the mental abilities. I mostly utilize this tool for scouting purposes, both for high school recruits and for transfers, because I'm trying to get a sense of how close they are to qualifying for certain tier levels of certain abilities. And sometimes I just straight up need a reminder as far as which archetypes have which abilities. The Hard Sell Calculator tool is just a very quick and simple tool that basically takes your 3 grades for each of the 3 hard sells and helps you make the determination whether you should hard sell for that recruit or if you should send the house instead. Because if your 3 letter grades are too low for a hard sell, then it might not actually have a good impact on your abilities to influence that recruit to commit to your school. The Team Grades tool is as it would apply. It's the team grades for every single school in the game. This could be useful for trying to determine which school you'd like to pick for Dynasty mode. It could also be helpful if you're in a recruiting battle with another school and you want to see how good of a chance you have at beating that school to winning a recruit. While you can search it up in game, it does take a little bit of time to navigate through the menus. You could instead just pull up this website really quickly and look at the grades and make the comparison and see if it's worth battling out for that recruit or not. The Playbook Database tool, as it would imply, is a playbook database. I find this very helpful when creating custom playbooks from an online Dynasty. You can see which plays are included in each of the school's playbooks within the game, both offense and defense. You can also search for the full list of plays within specific formations and sets. And there's a search function if you remember maybe a keyword within the play name or just the name of the play but don't remember the formation that it's in. You can do a quick search of that So for example here, maybe I want to search up some double pass plays to put into my playbook as kind of some trick plays to run in the middle of a game versus an online opponent. I would just type in double pass and some double pass plays will come up. CollegeFootball.gg also has a coach builder tool, which can be helpful in optimizing your coach builds, trying to figure out what abilities you might want to purchase next. Now, the only downside is at the time I'm recording this video, some of the upgrade purchase prices that they have listed for unlocking different archetypes, it's not the correct purchase price. I'm sure this is something they'll update over time. The game did only come out a couple days ago, so I'm sure they're still going through and cleaning things up. Now, the cost of the individual coach abilities is correct, but again, it's the price of opening up certain archetypes where the pricing is dynamic. As you unlock more coach archetypes and purchase them, the price of the other ones that you haven't unlocked yet does go up, and they just don't have it scaled the way it is in the actual game yet. They also have a separate coach skills tool. Again, that's just kind of a dictionary, a glossary, so to speak, for the coach skills within the game that you can purchase. They also have a full glossary of all of the schools within the game with their team prestige and ratings, although this is a little bit bare bones, but it's very simplistic if you're just looking to get some quick answers. Now, they have two different tools for visits. One is the complimentary visits tool, which will then show you the amount of influence gained or the boosts that you're going to get from those complimentary visits, and if there's any conflicting visits in there as well. Then there's the Rivals tool. That's really just a glossary, a dictionary, or whatever, just a resource to refer to know what the different rivals are for every one of the schools within the game. For those of you that are looking to unlock Elite Recruiter and you're trying to calculate what score you need to get a top 5 recruiting class, there is a recruiting class calculator. And then last, there is also a glossary for all of the touchdown celebrations within College Football 27. All right, that was a mouthful, and I did cover pretty much every single free tool that is available on collegefootball.gg. Now, for the other two websites I'm about to talk about, I'm not going to cover every single one of the free tools, but I am going to cover the ones that I believe are the most beneficial. All right, so this next website is teamcrafters.net. And the two main purposes I like using this website is one, to be able to look at all of the rosters within the latest Dynasty Active Rosters file, to be able to make a determination as to which roster, which team I would want to choose for an online dynasty. Not only does it list all of the players, the position that they play, their archetype, their year, their abilities, it also lists the dev traits and all of their ratings. Additionally, there is also a search players tool that allows you to search up specific players. So for example, if you're in the transfer portal and let's say you find a transfer such as Jelani Watkins, but you don't remember what is his speed or what is his dev trait and you want to do a quick search for that. Of course, if you're 2 years into the dynasty, the ratings are going to be slightly boosted from what you see in this database. But at least you'll know the dev trait, you'll know the baseline ratings, and you'll have a good indication of whether or not you want to pursue this transfer without spending any recruiting hours scouting them. Something else that's nice about this rosters database is they do include the starting dynasty points and the total budget that you get starting at the beginning of the first season in dynasty mode for every single school. Now, like I said, there's other tools on this website as well. They also have their own pipeline rankings tool, as well as their own player abilities database. I just happen to prefer the player abilities database tool and the pipelines tool over at collegefootball.gg instead. One thing that I will say that is nice about this abilities database though on teamcrafters.net is you are able to not only search for the ability, but it will tell you which players have that specific ability on the latest dynasty rosters. All right, the final website I'm going to go over today, this is actually from another YouTuber, maxplayscfb.com. Now, as I said before, there's no sponsor, affiliation, partnership, what have you. Max doesn't even know I'm making this video to talk about his tool, but I think it is worth bringing up for anyone that is not familiar with it already. And if you do want to learn more specifics about what is available on his website, I highly suggest you go ahead and check out his channel, as he has a couple videos talking more in depth about what is available with his free tools. That said, the tool that I like using the most so far that I've dabbled in on his website is the roster support tool. You're able to take screenshots from your game and import them into his website, copying over all of your dynasty's roster data. And then from there, you can get recommendations based on your play style and the players currently on your roster as far as what types of recruits to pursue during the regular season and in the transfer portal. And then you can even copy that recruit data of the recruits that you are currently pursuing into this dashboard here. And then based on all of the recruit data that Max has compiled so far, you can see how the recruits you've selected compare based on certain metrics to all other recruits within a position group. So for example, this recruit Chris Thompson scores in the 90th percentile for athleticism. But then we see Joe Smith over on the right is in the 81st percentile for pocket metric. And then you also get this nice side-by-side view of the ratings that are available when you scout the recruits. Now, like I said, there's several other different tools and FAQs and whatnot that are on Max's website. Again, I suggest you go check out his channel to learn more about those. Were there any free tools that you think are just as good or better than the ones I showed in this video? If so, please leave a comment down below letting me know what those are. And click one of the videos on your screen now for some more College Football 27 Dynasty tutorials.